Well, my name's Jeff Arney, and this is my home, and I really appreciate you all coming out tonight. My husband Dale and I are very happy to have you all here in support of our friend Tom Coale, the first ever district representative from 9B.
Yeah.
I have the real pleasure and honor of introducing who is going to introduce Tom, and she actually is responsible for what for Dale and I having what I'm holding right here. It's a copy of the Civil Marriage Protection Act that's signed by Governor O'Malley, and it has one of the pens that he used to sign it. And we actually weren't able to make Equality Maryland's annual gala this year. And I reached out to Carrie and her team and said, you know, I really want one of those. And she made it happen. So it's definitely a piece of history, and I'm so happy to have it. And it's thanks to Carrie. So Carrie, thank you very much.
He didn't mention how much he paid for that, but I couldn't get anything at a cost. So welcome to this wonderful place. Jeff and Dale were also, they didn't probably mention this, but one of the first married couples in Howard County in January 2013. So we're very gracious, as you can imagine. The press was like that last week of December, like, can you put us in touch with people who are getting married next week? We want to talk to those first couples getting married. And so you both did a lot of press and really represented our community and the couples who waited patiently to get married in Maryland. So thank you for that. Equality Maryland, if folks don't know, is the state's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender civil rights organization. We work on a lot of things. Why we're here today is because we have a political action committee, a PAC, that gets involved mostly in state legislative races, statewide races. For those of you who don't live in this district, we have a list of all of our 96 endorsed candidates on the sign-in table. So take a look, grab one when you're leaving to see who we interviewed. About 170 people across the state who are seeking our endorsement. And we're pretty tough. We have an interview team that really, wants to make sure if you're getting Equality Maryland's endorsement, you not only, pay lip service to equality for LGBT people, but you really understand our lives and our realities. And it was wonderful when Tom came in for his interview, because almost immediately the team felt, like this guy is the real thing. He's going to, not just be a superficial supporter of LGBT equality. He's one of those folks, I think, that sort of, it's in your blood. And, it came very natural to him, and we were very happy that we were able to endorse him in District 9B. We also have Ryan Frederick here, who we have endorsed for the Senate seat in District 9. So Ryan's another good guy. So we're proud that Tom is here, that the LGBT community and our allies have come out today to support Tom and his candidacy. The primary is coming up really soon, so if you don't have money, get those sneakers on. He's probably walking every day and night through this beautiful district. So walk with him, or phone bank with him, or do whatever it is he needs us to do so he can be our next delegate in Annapolis. So here's your next delegate for 9B, Tom.
I'm going to start out with some thanks, and then I'm going to let you know what elected officials and candidates are here today, and then I'm going to get into what I want to talk about today. But first, thank you so much to Dale and Jeff. When you campaign, one of the things that you realize is that you develop close friends very quickly. And I do feel like I have close friends in both of you. You have welcomed me into your home from the start. Hosting this amazing event, and also just been there for me when I needed to not be campaigning, when I needed to just have friends around me, to just relax and be myself, and to talk about the frustrations that come along with the campaign trail sometimes. So thank you for that. The next people I want to thank are Claire and Andrew. Is Andrew out here yet? All right, good. Thank you both so much for everything that you've also put into this event, and what you've also put into the campaign as a whole, because we don't get to have events like this with such amazing people without people like that. The next is Kirsten and TJ. And I apologize if the thanks are too long today, but my campaign has been completely different since Kirsten came as our field director. She has revolutionized what we've been able to do. I had what I called some sign insecurity, and she spent all week putting up signs all over the district. And then TJ, as I've told him, this campaign wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for him. As a matter of fact, I don't tell many people this, but when I decided to run for this seat, I was on a 10K run with TJ, and we talked about it the entire run around Baltimore City. And by the time I was done, I knew exactly what I was going to do. Now, I try to do this at every chance I get. Thank you to my wife, Nicole. She makes me be able to go out there and be confident that what I'm doing is important and right, because she has my back whenever it's needed. The invitations that you got, many of you have commented about how beautiful those invitations were, and I apologize, we supplemented that with a Facebook invite, but that was Nicole who designed that. She cut it with a paper cutter, put it in that black envelope, and put all those stamps on it. And I hope that everybody has someone that, like Nicole, in their life that can give the support that I have from her.
Very nice.
One more, thank you to my mom. You know, again, campaigning for office takes a lot of confidence, and to have my mom here today and to have her at every one of my events she can go to, again, you need to have people like that to make a campaign possible, so thank you. And then also thank you to Carrie. Carrie, thank you so much. From the moment that Equality Maryland stood behind me and said that they were going to support me, they have been there on social media. They've been there when I needed them here today. Every single aspect, they've backed up that support. And, you know, there's a lot of people that say they support you when you're running for office, but not everybody does something to back that up, and Equality Maryland does. So now I'd like to mention some additional thanks, as well as announcing the people that are here. We have our next senator in District 13, Guy Gazzoni, who's back there. Guy has been one of those people that has told me what you need to do to not only campaign, but make a campaign matter. Because you can knock on hundreds of thousands of doors if you need to, but if you're not doing it in a way that's effective and campaigning in a way that matters, you're wasting your time. I would also like to thank our next county executives who's here, Courtney Watson. Hey, Courtney. Not only an elected leader, but also my personal friend, and it means a lot to have you here today. We also have Council Member Dr. Calvin Ball.
There you go.
I thank Calvin every day. He's just not around to hear it all the time. This is the guy who is one of my closest friends, mentor, tells me what's important, what's not important, keeps my head on straight, and as always, it means so much to have you here. We have school board member Ellen Flynn Giles. Where's Ellen? Thank you very much for being here, Ellen. And I've been told that whenever I have a question about education issues, that you're the person to call, so I'm going to be calling you not too shortly after this. And now in terms of any other elected officials that are here that I have not mentioned. Wow, that rarely happens. That is normally so embarrassing. But in terms of candidates, we have Marcia White for Democratic Central Committee. And real quick, before we get the clapping going, Marcia White backs up what she's doing for Central Committee. She has knocked on doors for me right from the start. And as a candidate with a primary, that takes guts. And she backed it up, and she went and knocked on doors for me, which is why I will tell anyone I can that for Democratic Central Committee, vote for Marcia White. We've got my friend Ryan Frederick here, who's running for Senate in District 9, where you are right now. Ryan has so many different things he brings to the table here, but one of the things, again, that matters about Ryan is he knows why you campaign with purpose. He knows what we're doing this for, and I'd encourage you all to meet with him today. We have two candidates for Council District 1. We've got my friend John Weinstein and my friend and Wendy Royalty. There's Wendy. And are we in Council 1 right now? We're not. Okay, so, but you still have to meet them. There's yes. I appreciate that. And in terms of candidates, are there any other candidates here? Nice job, Tom. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is ideas. Because one of the things you realized early on in the campaign is that ideas alone mean very little. I think we have fantastic ideas. I think we're going to do really amazing things with this campaign. But ideas alone don't do it. And also, we're not going to get progress on the things that matter to us just by talking about them. We need to back them up, back that up. And this is not my pitch to you for why you should support me. This is my pitch for why we need a delegate in 9B that can actually do things. Because we could talk all day about what's important, and we could talk all day about the priorities and make a really nice web page. But if we're not going to have the ability to go down to Annapolis, work within that system, get the priorities set straight within that working environment, we are not doing anything. We are sending a person to Annapolis, but not a legislator. We're sending a candidate to Annapolis, but not a leader. And one thing I try to impress upon everybody, Republican, Democrat, Independent, is you need to be able to get things done. Because we call this the opportunity for Ellicott City. That's what we talk about in terms of why I'm running, in terms of my campaign. And this opportunity for Ellicott City is wasted if we elect someone that can't get things done. Now, with that, this opportunity for Ellicott City is wasted if we don't do something about it. Because there is always more you can do for a campaign. There is always one more door you can knock. There is always one more dollar you can raise. But if you care about the things that we're talking about, if you care about civil rights, if you care about a rational and reasonable tax code, if you care about a government that you can actually interact with and have positive responses from, I need you to work for the ideas that we're talking about. I need you to door knock. I need you to work a poll. I need you to be there for me the way Equality Maryland and the people here have been there for me throughout this campaign. Because I tell you what, if it's November or it's July and we haven't done everything that we could do to make sure these ideas get put into action, it's our own fault. So thank you all so much for coming. We have sign-up sheets over there for door knocking, poll working, anything you might be able to offer. But most importantly, tell your friends, because that's the smallest thing you can do, but also the most impactful thing. Thanks again for coming. Enjoy yourself. Have some drinks. We'll have food out in a bit.